Yo, what's up guys? How is everyone doing? You know what? We have had some really turbulent times with Bitcoin. In our recent streams, I wasn't able to stream yesterday because I did put out a different video. You guys have already probably seen it on BitMEX margin trading. If you haven't already, definitely check it out at the end of this video. And I didn't get to stream yesterday, but we missed some really important market movements, which I want to go over in this stream. And guys, as you're coming in, I know I'm streaming at a weird time. I'm just trying to look for, I get that some people can't make it to our streams, which happen at around 10 p.m. BST, British summertime. So I am looking to, allow some of the other international viewers to join in as well. And guys, as you do get in, make sure you drop your questions and your comments so I know everything's up. Yeah, it does look good from my end, though, in terms of connection and all that, so that is good. And yeah, so we had this really important 6,400 range. So obviously we've been talking about this for a while. I did say that this is one of the most important areas for Bitcoin. You know, like I said in my previous stream, it's actually probably the single most important line we've drawn within this sort of month, these past 30 days, and that's because it was the last resistance. And obviously you guys have seen we've plunged right through it. We've made those posts in the Telegram group, which you can get by joining in the description. So it's not looking good in terms of that, obviously just plunging right through that. And I did say that if we do break down below, my bias is going to turn bearish, and it actually has because of that. So, obviously we broke down really without much volume, which is surprising. I thought, when we break below 6,400, it was going to be on fairly, where is it? Yeah, on fairly big volume, but was it this candle? Yeah, so we wicked down below 64 rather, but it wasn't on big volume, which was surprising. But it dropped very quickly, and it leaves $6,000 and $5,900 as our absolute last support lines. So that's not really a good thing. Obviously, these are weak support lines. Like I said, if we dip below 6,400, I've already ruled out 6,000 and 5,900 because those aren't strong support areas. So if we zoom out here, we can obviously just see how we wicked below on February the 6th. This is that famous day I always talk about. I'm sure you guys are getting a bit annoyed of it now, but I said that, if we drop below 64, that's not going to be an area of support, and so that has actually meant that my targets have shifted to somewhat include the low 5,000s and potentially even 4,000, because like I said, this is going to indicate that we're actually starting, or we're in a long-term bubble pop cycle, which we're completing now. There is still a little bit of hope. When we did hit 6150 after dropping 6,400, we did bounce and we rallied up to, we rallied up to a high of about 6,500, just over. So I did call that. I did say that we were going to go up for a short squeeze. So let's actually check out the Bitcoin USD shorts. So yeah, they got squeezed a little bit. This really isn't much, when I was talking about a short squeeze, I was thinking something much more like this, maybe half of this kind of a squeeze, but obviously that didn't happen. I was expecting significantly more of a squeeze here. We go to the longs and see what's going on there. They've been building up, so really, it looks like the bears are still in control, and they may even, this is about an area of resistance for longs, so it could be the case that the longs get squeezed here and we continue to go down. It's really hard to say. This is, like I said, this isn't an area I'd like to be trading in, and I'm not. I just don't think it's worth risking your capital at these levels. It's just a bit too risky for me. And that's coming from me. I've got a fairly high risk tolerance for trading Bitcoin, because I'm always so sure when I make my calls of which direction it's going to go in. But the 6,000 area has been my exception. I've really stayed away from it because it's just way too unpredictable. But, we went down to 61, 20, 30, it looks like here on Coinbase, and we did bounce back up, but, the volume wasn't great. So, obviously, we've been talking about this triple bottom formation. Yeah, you can see how we've got this blue box here representing what that triple bottom may have been. Guys, I'm not seeing your comments. I'm not sure if that's because of an issue on my end. Let me just check real quick. Well, 6120. Unless this is just an exceptionally dead chat for whatever reason. Maybe Europeans are extremely moody. I don't know. That would make sense though. So we've got this triple bottom formation here, and you know, when we bounce from an area like this, we go to the daily candle and we can see these. Oh, right, we're on Coinbase. Obviously, they fucked up the volume here. Here's the daily here. You know, we get these pumps from these bottoms where we bounced up. I'm seeing your comments now. Yeah, that's great. And you know, February the 6th, this is insane green volume, one of the biggest days of trading in Bitcoin's history. If not, it may have. Yeah, it looks like it actually was the biggest day. Maybe the Bitfinex chart is being a little bit misleading here. Okay, suddenly getting a lot of comments. This is strange. Okay, I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, so we've got that big green volume pump here again on April the 12th. You know, but it didn't happen here. So let's go back to Coinbase, because I do like my blue box I've got. You know, when we bounced up from the 6100 area, we didn't bounce with significant volume. And when we're looking for a triple bottom, let's actually pull up what Investopedia says here. I did mention that you guys should... What am I doing? Triple bottom. Let's wait for this to load. So I did mention that you guys should read this article in the post that I put in VIP and Gold as well, I think. But, you know, this is a criteria of what should happen in a triple bottom. There should be an existing downtrend, so obviously we've got that. The three lows should be roughly equal in price and spaced out from each other. So, you know, we've got a very nice sort of spacing out with our triple bottom. I mean, this is nearly equal. This final bottom has taken a little bit longer, but really not by much. So it's very even. Volume should drop throughout the pattern, so I've pointed this out at length within our Telegram posts, that we are dropping in volume, which is why I'm very bullish, sorry. And overall I am. It's just, you know, midterm I did say that I've adjusted my sentiment to be bearish. Bullish volume should increase as the price breaks through the final resistance. So we obviously haven't broken through any resistance lines yet. That's going to be way above, you know, like $9,000 now. But on this bounce, you know, this is meant to be the definitive bottom, and it's very clearly not, because, you know, this volume bar isn't enough. I would expect something huge, you know, something like what we had on February the 6th to really dwarf everything else. So it looks really bleak because of that. It didn't come in. I don't know. I mean, like I said, since 6400 has been busted, we're now back at 6400, but this is just a very typical bot pattern. If you guys have been following the Twitter posts, a lot of people do. It's kind of a meme now where we have these bot patterns. It looks like Bart's head, Bart Simpson. We've got a very clear one here dumping us, and really, I mean, we already know what's going on here. This is high-frequency trading bots just looking to liquidate shorts and longs, because, it, you know, like I went over in my last video, if you go short on a position, but the price goes up, it liquidates you, and that's the kind of environment a bot would want to create for really big traders and investors. So it sucks. It's new to the market. It started, I mean, it's always been like this to an extent, but you know, this is just how it works, and it looks like we're going to be going sideways again, maybe for a day or something like that, maybe bot up. It depends, you know, it's always going to go in, it's always going to try to liquidate the most positions, so whether that means going long or short, it really depends, which is why I said this area is so unpredictable. Obviously, this pattern happens everywhere, but you know, you throw in the added volatility and uncertainty of the 6,000 range, and really you have a recipe for disaster. So I really don't like this area. Like I said, I wish we could get out of it. Whether it means we go up or down, I don't care. I just don't want to be in the 6,000 range. But alas, we are here. Now I want to share an interesting image with you guys. So this is my Twitter. If you guys aren't already following me, Sammy_loyal, links in the description as well. Everything's in the description. You can go ahead and follow me there. I put some quality shit posts out. But this is the Wyckoff accumulation. What's that? Schematic, my bad. Schemation isn't even a word. Accumulation schematic Wyckoff. So this is a model presented presumably by a guy called Wyckoff, who has shown you what it looks like when a coin undergoes accumulation. And I've seen a lot of people putting this chart out. A lot of what I'm doing now is debunking what other people are saying, because like I said, retail always gets absolutely wrecked. I'm going to go through your comments in a second, guys. There are so many. I will get to every single one of them, like, I love doing. But this Wyckoff little accumulation thing we've got going on here, it does fit Bitcoin a little bit. So we've got a lot of the main events working correctly. So obviously this falling wedge, that's not even a falling wedge, this dump, the rising wedge, a further dump, but it goes different here, where we've actually formed yet another rising wedge, whereas on the Wyckoff pattern, it dumps really heavily, and about here is where it kind of goes downhill. It still follows it very loosely, but not enough to give it much merit. So, we've got these tops and the sideways trading largely here. So, I mean, I think the Wyckoff pattern here is more volatile than Bitcoin, which is surprising. Usually Bitcoin is more volatile. But as we already know, rising wedges like this, like this, like this, like this, all of these rising wedges have been the characteristic of this downtrend, which we started in May. So that's just what's different here. But, I did put it in the bottom and it lines up perfectly. That's just because I wanted it to line up perfectly. I don't know if this is actually the right thing, because this pattern is so out of line with Bitcoin. But if it is the bottom, what we're looking at is a bounce up to resistance. So resistance does line up and support. So, a lot of people have been speculating that maybe these big guys who are in control want Bitcoin to follow this pattern so they can shake people out, they can accumulate a lot, liquidate positions, whatever they want to do. And then they're going to send it flying in phase D and E. It's possible, but, guys, like I already said, we didn't get the volume in. If we go to the crypto market cap page, coin market cap page, the volume is only 16 billion. And that's really not good at all if we're looking at a triple bottom and a Wyckoff bottom sort of pattern. I mean, it's pathetic, honestly. I mean, it's just not good at all. So I'm hesitant about this one. Up until now, I believed it. I thought this is, at the start, obviously, I was like, no way, we're breaking through 10,000. What are you talking about? But, looking at it now with the information we have today, 14th of June, it just doesn't look like it's going to play out. We would expect huge volume here because it is the bottom. But maybe it is part of the Wyckoff pattern. We don't know. Only time will tell, and not much time left. We're only talking about maybe a week, and then we'll really know, do we rise or do we break below 6,000? And if we do, this Wyckoff pattern is completely out of the picture. We're not even going to look at it. And with that, I'm closing this tab. That felt pretty good. Okay, let me look at the comments now. OMG seems to be holding relatively better than do many other alts. Any comments? Let me check out OMD. I mean, I thought that, a coin like OMG being so quiet, I mean, wow, yeah, it's literally just neutral. I thought a coin like this, since it's lost so much interest, look at the volume, it's going to be one of the easier coins to dump. Actually, let's check out the chart on Binance, on TradingView. Yeah, I mean, this is really good stability. We've been declining. Yeah, this is great. I mean, another one is BNB, which actually, yeah, it has been dumping a little bit, but, let's go to, where is it? Where did May start? Oh, I'm so bad at this, whatever. It was climbing. The point is, while Bitcoin was declining, BNB was rising very well. So this is really good. I mean, this looks like a very typical, we're in an uptrend. This is a falling wedge, uptrend, falling wedge, uptrend. I mean, it just looks like a pattern that's going to play out. It could have been a reversal, but the sell volume wasn't very big. You guys can tell I'm really on top of my TA right now. I've been reading so many books on it. The sell volume wasn't huge, so this probably wasn't even the top. And after looking at this chart, I kind of want to buy some BNB. It's like 500 BNB to get double referral commission, something like that. That's a really good incentive. I love what they're doing. Binance has some really big issues with credibility now, but at the same time, they're doing a lot of things right, and I do hope they don't fade into irrelevance like Bittrex and all that. But back to OMG, I still, this is one of those coins I think isn't relevant anymore. It hurts to say because, like I said, it used to be my favorite, but That is my stance there. I'm watching football and listening to you. That's great. FIFA. Oh, right. Okay, that might explain maybe why people weren't talking. Can I ask you what you think people who have Litecoin should do, or what you would do? Yes, I'm going to answer what I would do. Thank you. I would sell, man. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, it's dropped below $100, so $100 would have been where I would have sold easily. I just, you know, that's it's so unfortunate because Litecoin is that like Silver Knight type of coin. I love it, but it's not picking its weight up right now. I mean, carrying its own weight, but it depends. It depends on Bitcoin. You know, I'm getting questions about Ethereum as well in the VIP chat. We had a member share a Head and Shoulders formation, which I've forgotten where it is now. It was a slightly weird formation, but it made sense. The only thing I said about that was, you know, it's gonna follow Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin dumps, so will Ethereum, and then the Head and Shoulders pattern will be, right, I think it was on the log chart. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So we can draw that Head and Shoulders now. I'll show you guys what it looked like. God, I forgot what it was like. It was something like this. Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. So this is a Head and Shoulders. For those of you who don't know, a Head and Shoulders is where you test a top 3 times, and each time you get rejected. The tops are not near to each other, but it does show you heavy resistance in the uptrend. And so the inference you take away from that is we've tested 3 tops, we've failed every time, and so we're going to break down. But we're only going to break down with Ethereum if Bitcoin does as well, unless Ethereum itself gets some sort of major FUD. You know, maybe Vitalik turns out to be one of the biggest cocaine exporters in Russia, for example, whatever. That could tank its price. I'm not sure how it would relate to Ethereum. Maybe he's using it to money launder. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. But, you know, coins like this, they will only follow Bitcoin. And it's the same for every single other alt. So you guys always hear me going over this. You know, alts are bleeding out worse than Bitcoin. When I started this stream, Bitcoin dominance was at 40%. It's just risen again to 0.1%. And alts are going to be hurting. So right now it looks like a neutral day for alts. And it's a neutral day for Bitcoin as well. A lot of alts in the green, actually, so that's good. I'm not sure how they're in the green if dominance has been rising, but whatever, it's crypto, right? Anything can happen. I'm from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Thank you for the info. No problem. I don't know where Allentown is, but I do know where Pennsylvania is, and I hope to visit. How much is VIP? Gustavo, I will let you know in Telegram if you hit me up there. You can scroll up in Crypto Mafia Gold, and you'll find my username. And you can contact me there. In your opinion, are we nearing the end of the bearish cycle which began in December 17, or are we at the beginning of a new one? Well, we're not at the beginning of a new bearish cycle. If anything, we're just continuing the same bearish cycle. But to answer your first question, are we near the end? Wow, that's a loaded one. I mean, look, like I said, 6,400 got breached. That's an incredibly bearish sign. We're still in this relative triple bottom area, so we could bounce up, and it would make sense if we look at, you know, indicators like the RSI. I'm still hesitant, though. That 6,400 level, like I said, was a very, very important level, and we broke through it without any hesitations. Bulls couldn't really even fight back at all. I mean, like, we looked at the volume, and it was very poor from the bulls, so you know, it could be we could be looking at a continuation. You know, I think I would like to readjust it and say, you know, when we get out of this blue box, because if we break below, it becomes very clear. You know, I doubt we're going to go to maybe 5,700 to fake, you know, a big sell-off and get people to capitulate and then go up. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if we drop out of this blue box, we are out, and we're not going to come back into it until we've completed the bubble pop, which means going down to $1, $2, $3, maybe $4,000. So that depends on you. I like to present the information and let you make your own decisions. You can check out my Mega Bull Run video. It's still completely relevant because I am looking at the dominant long-term trend. So, check that out, and that should help you answer the question for yourself. I don't want to make decisions for you. I want you to make your own decisions with the information I present and the information you get on your own. Hope it holds the level for some time before volume comes in. Yeah, that would be a good scenario if we hold these levels and then volume comes in. I mean, it's probably what's going to happen if we look at these bot formations. Let's go on the 30-minute. You know, we're already kind of forming it. Reverse head and shoulders pattern. Is it about to make right shoulder? I'm not seeing it. Hold on, let's see. Are you talking maybe something like... Nah, I'm not seeing that. If you can tell me where you're seeing this... Oh, this is so annoying. If you can tell me where you're seeing this head and shoulders, I'll check it out. Fuck Bitcoin for the next 4 weeks. Bitcoin is going to 2,500 anyway. Well, you know, if it is, that would be unfortunate for the bulls, but no doubt, if it is, we will be shorting it, and we will be making profits anyway. No, it will not go to 2,500, 100% not. Yeah, I'm probably on your side there. Bitcoin is a brand now. 5,000 will be the lowest. Yeah, I agree with you, but we'll have to wait and see. XMR Bitcoin bottomed. Okay, let's check out Monero. That's interesting. I mean, Monero has been enduring some pretty big problems, because it's a privacy coin, and so all privacy coins are not in a good position right now. Has it? I mean, I don't know if it's bottomed. That doesn't look like a bottom to me. I mean, we haven't got enough volume to show that. It could be a temporary bottom, but actually, if anything, this looks like a bearish sign to me because let's go back to the daily here. You know, we've got a green candle. We've wicked up to a high of 132. Oh, this is on the dollar. Right, you're talking about Bitcoin. Let me check that out. I'm sorry. Okay, I mean, it's the same story here. You know, we wicked up to 0.02, and now we've gone down, and it looks like it's going to close a little bit lower. So that's actually a bearish sign. I don't think it's bottomed out, but maybe you're right. Sup, man, do you only do TA, or do you look to take a look to some coins? Because I have a pretty interesting one. The price got totally wrecked, so super cheap. I'm not a fundamental analyst for altcoins. I do study the fundamentals and analyze them for Bitcoin and the wider market, but for specific altcoins, especially small caps, I hate doing that because most of them are scams and I don't really have the patience to go through them. So typically I'm just trading with the larger and the mid-cap coins, which have already proven themselves to be, you know, not a waste of time. There are many people you'll find who'll happily look at alts, but I mean like small cap alts, but unfortunately I'm just not one of them. I've made a lot of money trading these medium and large cap coins. It's reliable. You know, when you go to newer coins, you expose yourself to so much risk. So I do it very rarely. I think I've only invested in like 10 small caps throughout my entire time in crypto. OMG irrelevant. I mean, irrelevant in that they're not posting news that is getting forwarded around the crypto community and no one's talking about it. So yeah, I don't need to justify myself, actually. They are irrelevant. It's pretty clear. What is your stance on Neo and Ontology as a holding position? Both are absolutely great. Ontology, I don't know if I can say it, but it's got some good stuff ahead. And Neo is the Chinese Ethereum, right? So China is oh wow, okay. Could have bottomed out here, probably not, but you know, China is this weird market where they change their minds about whether they want to legalize crypto very, very quickly and very often, but I think China has a bright future ahead. They're not going to be left behind. Come on, I mean, let's be realistic. Countries like the US and UK definitely will be left behind because I'm not even going to go into that, but China, I don't think they're going to do that. They're not idiots. You know, even Middle East, hopefully not India as well. I mean, hopefully India as well, but probably not. These areas, I think, are going to capitalize on crypto because, you know, the Middle East, they've run out of oil, or they are running out of it. It's becoming, you know, less in demand. It's losing demand. And so they need a new thing, and they're looking at tourism. But that other new thing, the backup maybe, could be the blockchain. And for India, there's space to improve everywhere. I mean, they have so much room to grow, which is why I think it's such a missed opportunity, obviously, for India. It sucks. But Southeast Asia is doing it at least, you know, Thailand and all those countries. So that's, I don't know why I'm kind of being a little bit racist here now. I'm sorry, I'll stop. It's not racist. I'm partly from India. Bitcoin will down, yeah, up. Not sure what that means. Sell Litecoin for Bitcoin and hold until Bitcoin rise back up. Yeah, I would do that because if Bitcoin rises, Litecoin isn't proven to follow. Bitcoin might rise by 20% and Litecoin only 5%. Litecoin moves in its own way only when we're in a bull market, but it doesn't follow the rest of the market very well. It does follow when it dumps though. So yeah, I would definitely hold Bitcoin for now. Wait for Bitcoin to have its fun. Then once you've ridden Bitcoin and alts have been smashed because Bitcoin has risen up, that's when you jump into alts. This is my strategy for every single bull and bear market. And basically you switch between Bitcoin and alts. And then if you still like Litecoin, which obviously, sorry about that, which I love Litecoin, I'm always going to be looking at bagging up when the time is right. If you do like Litecoin, that's when you can buy after the alts have also ran, because Litecoin usually goes near the end. But not investment advice. My god, you are some young genius kid, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, anyone can do this. It just comes with time. I was, I guess you could say lucky for getting... Oh, these are a lot of comments. So many I've missed. What are your thoughts on Zcash as a holding position? They have big manipulation issues. Is it right? Am I talking about the right one? I think it is. This is the privacy coin, right? I forgot. If it is the privacy coin we're talking about, yeah, they've got big manipulation issues. So I don't like this. I think there are better holds you can have. How about a triple bottom within a descending triangle? This is a bearish formation. Well, if we're talking about a triple bottom, it's not bearish at all, because even if it's a descending triangle, let's go back to this long logarithmic chart where prices don't go up, normally they go up in percentages. So this is a way to get a longer term look at the trend. Even if we do draw a triangle here, whether it's descending or not doesn't matter. This is a bullish formation. Like I said, it doesn't even matter if we draw this down to I mean, it gets a little bit ugly when we go to 4,000, but something like this is still a bullish pennant. I don't understand how people don't see this. It's still a very bullish formation for Bitcoin within a dominant uptrend. And there is no fundamental reason for why Bitcoin is going down like this. It's all panic. And so this it doesn't reflect the true price of Bitcoin. A lot of you guys understand this, surprisingly. A lot also don't. But no, there is nothing bearish about this, I think. Even if we drop to 3 and 4,000, maybe even 2, there's nothing bearish about this in the long term. Do you know of any exchanges that you can short and long other than BitMEX because US clients aren't allowed? Yeah, Mark, that sucks. This goes back to these government issues. I don't know why the US is stopping their people from making money like this, but no, I unfortunately don't. I know some people who've done who've ran VPNs and done it, but obviously that's not a very good idea. Yeah, I mean, if you have special permissions, you're at Wall Street and you work for some big company, you might have permissions to trade these things because the US is corrupt, and they do allow the rich people to do illegal things all the time. We already know that. But yeah, unfortunately, not for the retail, not for us. I don't think it's possible. I don't believe this USD Tether news. I don't trust the media. Yeah, I mean, this Tether news is interesting, We've got this news that last year Tether, Bitfinex, whatever, they're all related, has printed a lot of Tether to pump Bitcoin. I mean, it's certainly possible, that Tether played a part in pumping Bitcoin up to those insane parabolic levels. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin only went up to 20,000 because of greed, because people wanted to make money. It was a fast way to make money. Everyone jumped on the train. So, to say Tether was wholly, the reason to blame for that run is not accurate. But to say it played a part, yeah, that does make sense. As for, whether or not you believe it, media's always looking to place FUD around here. I mean, we're getting so many FUDdy articles in this area. If you think that's not a coincidence, we're on the same page. But if you do, I think you're misguided. If you think USDT and Tether will be taken down, I doubt that. Sorry, USDT and Bitfinex. Yeah, I mean, they probably won't get taken down. They've lasted this long, so it's unlikely. I have buy orders from 5.5 to 4.8. Thoughts? Lewis, I think that's a great place to place buy orders if you think we're going below 6,000. I would do the same. In fact, I am looking to buy Bitcoin at those lower levels if we get there. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, you've even said 5.5 to 4.8. That's perfect because you're catching those support areas, and you've also laddered them. So, you know, you might have one at 54, one at 52, 49. You've laddered them. You've averaged out a good price. If it goes that low, I think you've done the right thing. Watch out for strong hand swap coming soon, and we will moon. What will have any less supply than Bitcoin? VeChain mainnet soon. What do you think? Again, you know, alts in this climate are never going to do well. Some will pump a little bit, but a mainnet, yeah, I mean, it could be, you know, a 10% day, 20% day, but also bear in mind you've got to buy the rumor and sell the news, so it could very well be the case that it just dumps on the day of the mainnet. I just don't think, you know, I'm getting the impression that some of you guys are heavily in alts still at this time. And yeah, of course, this is the time to be buying alts, but I mean, I would never go higher than even 30-40% alts in terms of my allocation in a time like this. I just think it's way too risky. I mean, we look at these, I show you guys this CoinMarketCap page every day, and every day alts are dropping more. And it's not by much, it's always by small amounts, you know, 2%, 3%, 5%. But that's happening over the course of a week. Those are huge losses. I mean, I'm talking to some people who've literally seen their portfolios drop in half within these past 2-3 weeks, and I can't believe it. I don't know why they would take so much risk on. Of course, with high risk comes high reward, but you know, there's a point where you've also got to be like, okay, but this risk is unnecessary, and that's how I feel about alts. Nikki, good day. What are your thoughts on 0x? Do you think it could go lower than it already is? Thanks in advance. Yeah, so I think I've called this in VIP. Yeah, I did call it in VIP. Yeah, I got in this. I've sold it because it just didn't look too good, and it has dropped more since I've sold. It's at a support area now, but again, you know, with every single alt, it doesn't matter. Even if we're talking about the big three, Ethereum, Litecoin, bcash, it doesn't count, but I'm just saying it anyway. All of these alts are going to suffer if Bitcoin goes down, and at the moment there's too much uncertainty. We don't know if it will. A lot of people, it seems like, they really think it will now. I still don't know. I'm still neutral. I mean, I've got a bearish bias for the midterm, like I said, but you know, the long-term trend is still overwhelmingly bullish, and you know, it just looks ready for a shakeout. Honestly, I mean, for a squeeze. But yeah, to answer your question specifically, if we drop this level, it's a free fall down to, you know, this area, which is 7,000, 8,000 sats, down from 13,000. That's nearly half. It's a good coin, but it's just not worth buying right now. I mean, I wouldn't buy it right now. And David asking about Neo, I've just gone over that. You can banter all you like about buy sell with charts, just hold it and you'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said in a previous stream, if you just hold and that's all you do, then you're fine. But if you hold and then you sell at $5,000, you're not holding correctly. You're not holding it at all. So it depends on your discipline when it comes to this hodl mentality, because a lot of people say that, you know, people talk so much shit. I can't believe it. I've been following these big influencers, and they've been saying stuff like, I'm never going to sell Bitcoin and all this stuff. And they sound so definite. When people doubt them, they rip them apart. And then, you know, this week, they are the most bearish people ever. I can't believe it. There's so much shit talking in this space. So, you can talk all you want, but you've got to put your money where your mouth is. If you say you're going to hold, then you better hold when we go down to 4,000, because we are going to go back up. So it just depends on how much discipline you have. if you're talking about holding. I don't, I used to think it's a good strategy, but now seeing so many people break under this pressure, you say you can hold it down to $4,000, but, bear in mind, there's going to be panic when we go to those levels. So unless you don't know that it's going down to those levels, you've still got a pretty high risk of selling it at the worst time. Thanks, I'm looking at a cynical bear market within a secular bull. Secular, isn't that like non-religious? Therefore short-term bearish, hence my question, a descending triangle. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're bearish like mid short-term, like I said, which I am as well, it's definitely possible. So, it could work out if you're shorting it, or if you're just not, you don't have any and you're going to buy later or whatever. Selling alts now is very risky. It's just not worth it considering they could pump 20% in a day. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nine. But they've been dropping 5% a day for a while as well. So it's very tricky with alts because you don't want to sell because it could go up the next day. But all the while you're saying that, it's still going down, and you end up with a bigger loss. Even if it does pump 20%, you're already down 50%. You should have cut it at the beginning. So it's a very hard question to answer. You have to look for that answer yourself, unfortunately. Okay, guys, I'm going to go back to my TA. Now I have one or two more big things I want to go over. And guys, if you haven't already, definitely make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're enjoying this stream, the information you get, anything, do subscribe and join the sort of team I guess we have here. I don't like using cringy terms like team and family and all that, but whatever, it's a nice word to use. And of course, if you're not in the Telegram channel, you're doing it wrong. You need to join the description. There is a link there, Crypto Mafia Gold, and of course we do have that VIP channel, which I'm happy to tell you about in PMs. But this is another chart I want to go over. So I've already posted this in gold as well. This came, the bottom chart here came from a VIP member, Alfredo. We've been having some really good conversations in our VIP chat about where Bitcoin could go. And this guy has a bit of a bearish bias, which is completely fine. And he's pointed out that we hammered down in 2014 in a similar formation to 2018. My response to that was true. But if you're going to look at a chart like this, you also need to look at a chart like what I've got up at the top here. And this is where we formed this triple bottom, or we haven't formed it, but we're in the triple bottom area. It's spaced out equally. The prices are near the same, so it's a relative triple bottom. And it is the same case for 15, where we did form a triple bottom at the start of the year, then at the middle, and then, Q3. That's where these triple bottoms, where it was formed. And it's very clear. And like I made the point, if you're going to be looking at a chart like this down here in 2014, also look at a chart like this, where we're looking at a triple bottom, because Bitcoin's trend is moving faster than it did in 2014. And Bitcoin just isn't the same as it was in 2014. The liquidity has gone up. The volume that's being traded has gone up. The media awareness up. Technology has improved. It's very different. The only argument you can put forward, there's two, that it's a bubble pop cycle and most of them are similar. And secondly, it's the same asset, which is Bitcoin. Those are fair points. But, like I said, if you think it's going to hammer down like it did before, it may also form the triple bottom like it did before. And this if it is a bubble pop, it's moving very quickly in terms of the price movements. So that's, I just wanted to, I think so many people are bearish without really thinking about it, just because they look at the price movements. They open their Coinbase every morning, and they see it declining, and that's why they think it's going to go to 2000, and that's fine. But if you want to take a more in-depth look at this, I was talking to someone today on Telegram, and what I try to do with these videos, with these streams, is go into really advanced technical analysis. It requires a lot of thinking and understanding of concepts, but I do it in a way where even the layman can understand it, where, I'm not trying to overcomplicate it. I'm trying to bring these really complex theories and, analysis. I'm trying to make it understandable to anyone, maybe a 10-year-old, which would be quite difficult. I've tried it. Pretty stupid idea. But you know, that's where I'm going for here, and I think that that picture I just showed you guys is really important to look at. And yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. I'm going to go back to these questions now, because I have seen a few more come in. I just saw Nano Ledger servers are down. That's really bad. Yeah. Hopefully they go back up quickly. I don't even think they use servers, do they? I don't know. It's a hardware wallet, so I wouldn't imagine. I missed the recap. What's the feeling here? Bull bear. Oh, okay. Well, that's a tricky one. I think you're going to have to go back because there's too much to go over. Can't remember where I stopped looking at these questions. I'm sorry if I missed some of them. Crypto Gamer, the asset layer. Oh, I don't understand what you're talking about now. Raven. Oh, yeah, I don't follow that coin. Sorry. Hi, what's your opinion if today the market doesn't react and can't close above 6,500? Good bearish signal? I wouldn't say a bearish signal is good. In terms of completing the trend, yeah, of course it's better, but yeah, I don't think we're going to close below above 6,500 anyway. I don't really think there's a high likelihood of it at all. What is possible, though, is, you know, we do rally up a little bit to maybe, not now, but over the course of this week and next week, you know, we rally up to 68, maybe 7,000, maybe even 8,000, you know, to reach prior, you know, I think if we do rally up, it's not going to be higher than, you know, maybe 7,200. And then we continue our way down. It's very possible. It's just, I think it's a bit unlikely with sentiment right now. So yeah, I mean, there's no outcome I see that isn't bearish for today, unfortunately. That's a very cynical view. Good day. Your thoughts on Digibyte, please? I'm going to refer you back to what I've been saying about every alt. I just don't think it's worth looking at. Bitcoin is the one to be looking at right now. No alt is going to do anything interesting until Bitcoin sorts its shit out. Unfortunately, that's just the blunt truth. If you have a steady income, just keep buying the ride down. Yeah, I mean, that's dollar cost averaging, and it generally always works. And yeah, I think I want to highlight a point you've made there, you know, about a steady income. If you're panicking about these prices and it's making you feel really upset, it sucks. I totally understand. I've been there before. But it means you've invested too much. And you need to very seriously reevaluate that. If you're still in the profit after all of these dumps, you should really consider selling a lot of your stack to the point where if you lose it, if you lose everything that's left, it's not going to really upset you. So, for example, if you've gone from 1,000 and now you have 80,000, but your peak was 300,000, for example, you know, maybe sell 50,000. You know, you'd be left with 30,000 in crypto, but you have a very nice cushion in fiat. Just as an example, you know, if these prices are really getting you down, you need to really consider if it's worth keeping this much, because it's not worth your mental health. Nothing is. So definitely keep that in mind. That's my point, though. People need to be reassured of where this will go. If you don't put in more than you can do without, then you'll be fine holding. Yeah, I agree with that. Didn't understand some of it, but I get your general point. Personally, I'm sitting with my bags full of altcoins and alarms 24/7 ready to sell if Bitcoin all of a sudden drops hard. It sounds like then you've got a bit of a bullish outlook and you feel like we are actually going to be riding up. And if that's what you feel like, there's a good chance that alts will run better than Bitcoin. So you may be in a good position, but I mean, bags full of altcoins, I mean, it's not something I would do. Alarms 24/7, I think you mean price alerts, if they get triggered, /when. Yeah, I think just be really careful with that. These are very shaky waters right now. When 50k, never. Yeah, 25k max. No, if we go to 20,000 and we break 20,000, 25 definitely isn't the top. There is no way to call the top with Bitcoin if we break 20,000. You know, okay, it's fair to say that we're not going to break above 1 million, but anything is in play below, you know, 100,000, in my opinion, if we break 20,000, because that's going to mean we've gone parabolic once again, and when we go parabolic, there's nothing that can stop it, and it's not possible to time the top. Obviously, it's a good strategy to, every round number, 10, 15, 20, 25,000, every big number you sell maybe 10% of your position, rather. And then, that way you would have sold a little bit at 20,000 when it peaked on December the 17th, but not possible to call it top, unfortunately. At current trend, we are heading to 50k yen per Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know what a yen is, but what the value of a yen is. But I assume that's going to be pretty close to where we are right now. I think it's going to be the next 20x when the market is back. Are you talking about a different coin, Gustavo? Yeah, INT. Yeah, I've just bought mine. It's for update firmware. Again, lots of people asking about alts. Guys, Zilliqa $1 end of year, forget it. Let's talk about Bitcoin right now. Unless you're looking to buy very cheap alts right now, okay. But nothing is gonna moon. You can mark my words, nothing is gonna moon. We will get one or two stragglers, but this is not the time to be speculating on, especially speculation on alts right now. Not the time to do it, in my opinion. That's true. Digibyte needs Bitcoin. Exactly, David. You're on the ball there. Four Flies, if you had to guess, and don't be afraid to be wrong, would you guess Bitcoin would go up or down on the 7-day chart? Let's go to the weekly. I like the way you phrased that question. Thank you very much. Okay, if I had to guess, I'd say up. Yeah, I'd say up. On the 7-day. Oh, actually, because we haven't started a new weekly candle, so we could close red. If you're talking about next week, the week starting, what is it? 17th of June. Yeah, I think we're gonna go up. I think we're gonna have this triple bottom. I still think we do. This is me not being afraid to be wrong. So it's like a coin flip. Yeah, it'll reach all-time high within our lifetime. Absolutely. I think Bitcoin is going to be irrelevant within our lifetimes as well. I don't think it's going to stay around for the rest of our lives. I love Bitcoin, but let's be realistic. It's probably not going to stay around for that long. That said, the last Bitcoin it's estimated to be mined in 2150, 2148. But all-time high within our lifetimes, easily. Unless there's still price suppression. That's for another video, though. Talking about if institutional investors want to purposely keep Bitcoin at a low price because it allows them to trade it like a stock. Sell when your Uber driver asks you about Bitcoin as well. Again, sorry. Yeah, that's a very good metric. I unfortunately never had an Uber driver talk to me about Bitcoin, but I kind of wish I did. That would have been fun. Jason, everyone I talk to, I tell them I just bought 15 Bitcoins. That's not a good idea. You'll get robbed. Hello from Sweden. Love Sweden. I want to go there. I bought 0.6 Bitcoin yesterday. Are you bullish long term? Yes, I am very bullish long term. Gustavo also from Sweden. Awesome. Yeah, I'm very bullish long term. So I don't need to go over that again. Ludwig, if you want to check out my Mega Bull Run video, that's going to give you the reasons for why I'm bullish. I think it's pretty concrete. Rock's asking, have we covered XRP yet? We're probably never going to cover it. Sorry about that. Retard, I only just realized that's your name. Triple bottom reversal or triple bottom breakout? You mean breakdown? If not, both of them are kind of the same. Yeah, I've gone over that at length now. I don't want to cover that again. 5,800 Bitcoin soon. Very possible. Like I said, since we've dropped this 6,400 area, it looks like something that could easily play out. Has this stream gone on for an hour now? Oh, wow, yeah. Okay, that's one of the longest streams I've ever done. Maybe the longest, actually. Let's finish this up now. I'm just going to go over a few other questions. Will Ethereum become irrelevant? No, I don't think so. Big players really like Ethereum because of its use cases. And it's also the beginning of smart tokens, which is, a lot of people would argue, the main thing that cryptocurrency and blockchain offers. So, I mean, Ethereum is a shaky one. I mean, the concept of Ethereum, no, I don't think that's going to become irrelevant. Maybe ever. Maybe not within our lifetimes. Like I said, Bitcoin will be irrelevant within our lifetimes. but that doesn't mean the blockchain won't be. So yeah, Ethereum's concept, I don't think it's ever going to become relevant. Maybe, whatever, 200-300 years from now, but nothing reasonable. But as for Ethereum itself, there's a risk, but it's a risk that no one will be able to predict for now. John McAfee hopes Bitcoin will stay around and over 1 million by 2020 for his delicate part's sake. Yeah, no, I like I said previously, someone else asked about this, I think. John McAfee is doing this for publicity. He's running for president to publicize crypto. He wants to pump his bags. So this $1 million prediction, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Because, like I said before, $1 million, should we calculate what that's going to be? Let me check it out real quick. I want to see the market cap we would need for a $1 million Bitcoin. So current supply, the way to work out market cap, let's go over this as well, because I'm sure some people won't know this. Market cap is the price multiplied by circulating supply. So that means what are all of the Bitcoins worth? What are all of the Ethereum tokens worth? So you multiply price by circulating supply, and obviously if you want to sell all of them, the price is going to absolutely tank. But this is just to get a general idea of what the market is worth, and right now it's 110 billion. A note on that, it needs to say above 100 billion for institutional investors to game this, and that's potentially a reason for Bitcoin to not drop below about 6,000, because 6,000 is the level where it dips below 100 billion. Okay, so let's do 17 million multiplied by 1 million. Don't even think this is going to... Yeah, that doesn't show on my phone. It's 1.7 to the power of 13, something like that. So I can't tell you that number, but... yeah, look, I mean, if it goes to $1 million, we're talking about making fiat currencies completely irrelevant, and that's not going to happen. Governments won't let that happen. I hear people saying stuff like Bitcoin is going to take over the world and it's going to become like the world currency, but you realize it's going to be suppressed before that happens. And the only way for it to, for people to fight through and allow Bitcoin to become the world currency and make all fiat currencies irrelevant is if we riot in the streets and we set the government buildings on fire, pure anarchy, just to get Bitcoin to be legal tether everywhere. It's not going to happen. No one's going to riot over Bitcoin ever. This is a game for nerds, really. You're never going to get your average Joe, your average Chloe to riot in the streets to get Bitcoin to be fully legalized and recognized as legal tether. Never going to happen. It's just not. I don't. It's so weird that people think that's going to happen. Do you think Bitcoin value will increase when a dollar financial crisis hits? That's a really good question. So, Bitcoin was made by Satoshi because of the financial crisis in 2008, to take control out of bankers and to put the control in the people's hands, a democracy type of thing. It has failed because Bitcoin is also relatively centralized with all of its miners, but that's what it was made for. His birthday, his supposed birthday, obviously Satoshi is a pseudo sort of figure, but the birthday he's given himself was the day of the US Federal Reserve seizing gold from everyone. What's your question? I forgot. Oh yeah, so dollar financial crisis. Look, if Bitcoin is already in an uptrend, this is what Crypto Kirby said to me. You guys should check him out. I think what I'm about to say, all of the credit goes to him, because I wouldn't have said this myself. I wouldn't have thought of it. But if Bitcoin is already in an uptrend and a financial crisis hits, yes, Bitcoin is a hedge. There's a very good chance that money will be pumped into Bitcoin. But if it's in a downtrend like now, and then suddenly we get another recession, student debt, not mortgage, it's probably not going to be caused by that, but it's been speculated that college debt will be a contributing factor to the next recession, the next financial crisis. If it happens while we're in a downtrend, you better believe that Bitcoin is going to drop even lower. But even if we are in an uptrend, in a financial crisis, pretty much everyone loses. So there's also a chance Bitcoin will tank with it. Unfortunately, we've got to hope that doesn't happen. It probably will, eventually though. Do you think 0x will be added to Coinbase? Coinbase has added Ethereum Classic, but there are coins like I cannot think of any now, but there are coins like Neo, EOS, IOTA, you know, Dash. Oh god, why isn't Dash on Coinbase? I get that it might not be legal, but for real, that should have been on Coinbase. You know, there are coins like that, so that aren't on Coinbase. So no, unfortunately, I don't. I'm not even thinking about what Coinbase will add because, you know, someone pointed out on Twitter a really good point. We've now got 2 Bitcoins, 2 Ethereums, and Litecoin on Coinbase. And when you get one person who's completely new to the space and they want to buy Bitcoin for the first time, or they want to buy whatever, you know, they've heard Ethereum is cheaper, so they want to buy that because they can't own a whole Bitcoin, but they can own a whole Ethereum. They want to buy an Ethereum, but now they're presented with 2 Ethereums. They see one Ethereum, which is what, $467, and then they see another Ethereum, which is, where is it? Which is $13. I mean, it's pathetic. Of course they're going to pick the cheaper one because they think it's the same thing, unless they do further reading, but this is something you can easily trip up on. I think it's absolutely terrible that Coinbase is doing this, first with bcash and now Ethereum Clash. I can't, you know, this is pathetic. No respect for them after that, honestly. They've lost whatever was left when it comes to respect from me. My biggest bag right now is Bitcoin. If you're talking about an alt, it is DIG. DIG because it's pegged to the dollar, so well, it's pegged to gold, which is traded in dollars, and so if Bitcoin does continue to tank, the theory is that DIG will either rise or stay the same, and so far it has been doing that. It has been very stable, but even my DIG bag is not even like 5%. I am very firmly in Bitcoin. Of course in cold storage, which, like I said in the last stream, every single one of you should have. If you have wealth, that would ruin your life if you lose it. He's going to eat his dick on TV. Yeah, probably not. Ethereum Classic is no on exchange at Coinbase. That's why I didn't get you there. Sorry. There's a theory that Bitcoin value in 2020 will be $0 because of the hackers. No, I don't think hackers are gonna kill Bitcoin. Nah, I don't see that. It's a theory. I mean, what, like that's a theory. Like, we're already being controlled by aliens and the US government just won't admit it. You know, that's that kind of thing. I give no credit to that. Hackers you can't hack Bitcoin, actually. It's just not possible unless you have the majority, you know, hacking in speech marks. You know, you can, if you control more than 50% of the miners, or the hash rate rather, yes, you can influence what Bitcoin says. But no, that's, you know, hackers won't, you know, 50%, that we're talking about probably billions of dollars to even make that much. It's not, you know, why would they even want to take it down to $0? Regardless of what we invest now, 10 years from now it will be at least 10x, and that is conservative. Yeah, I don't know about 10 years from now. I don't know where the space will be in 10 years. You know, if we talked about 10 years ago, we would all be having smartphones and all this, like, amazing. I have a Wi-Fi light bulb. I just use my phone to turn it on and off. I wouldn't have believed you if you told me that would be a thing 10 years ago. So I don't like those long-term predictions, but your general idea, if you hold for now and then you look at it later down the line, yeah, absolutely. But only if you have a coin like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or the top sort of 50 maybe. When you go into anything below Litecoin, and I consider Ripple and bcash obviously as being below Litecoin, maybe not EOS, but EOS is a point of contention right now as well. But if you've got, you know, even these large caps, we don't know what's going to happen to them in 1 year. I mean, you know, we look at the historical, can we see that? Historical snapshots of coin market cap. Let's go to 2017 June, what we were looking at. I mean, you better believe people were saying the same thing as you. 11th of June, what was in the top 50? These coins probably aren't even here anymore. NEM, where's NEM? It's like 50 or something now. BitShares, no one talks about it. Stratus, well, let's not talk about Stratus now. You know, Steam, Golem, no, you know, you can't say that if you hold it for 10 years. These coins are going to die. BitConnect, 21, you know. But I get your general point. You know, if you say something like Bitcoin, Ethereum, especially, yeah, you're looking at 10x probably in a few years. Not financial advice, guys. But you know, this has been an hour now. Wow, yeah, exactly an hour. So maybe this is gonna be a thing. If you guys enjoyed this hour stream, I might have to clear an hour on my schedule to do these things. I don't know. Let me know. But with that, guys, I'm going to be ending it here. I really hope you have enjoyed it. I had something to show you here. Oh, yeah, so it's the same Wyckoff accumulation schematic. Not schemation, my bad. But yeah, guys, with that, I really hope you have enjoyed this stream. If you have, you know exactly what to do. Telegram channel in the description down below. And of course, if you want to follow me on Twitter to get my shit posts, do definitely follow me there. But with that, I am out. Peace.